Remember, remember the 5th of November. That's the beginning of an Old English poem which describes one of the world's most interesting holidays. November 5th is Guy Fawkes Day. But who was Guy Fawkes, and why are we supposed to remember him? Well, Guy Fawkes was born in the English city of York during a turbulent time in England's history. Now, in modern America, you're free to belong to any religion that you want, or to not have any religion at all. But back in the 1500s, most countries had an official religion. England used to be a Catholic country. However, in the 1530s, King Henry VIII changed the official religion. Practically overnight, the entire country switched from being Catholic to Protestant. This allowed Henry to divorce his wife and remarry, something he couldn't do under Catholic law. Now, many people didn't want to change, but there was little they could do about it while Henry was still the king. When Henry VIII died, he left behind an unstable mess. His only son, Edward, died when he was only 15 years old and had no children of his own. English laws only allowed women to take power when there are no male heirs left. So after a short power struggle, Henry's oldest child, his daughter Mary, became the queen, and Mary was Catholic. England changed religions again, returning to Catholicism. However, many Protestants refused to convert back. Those who wouldn't faced harsh punishments, including fines, imprisonment, torture, and even execution. Queen Mary had so many people killed that she soon earned the nickname Bloody Mary. Queen Mary died in 1588. Like her father, she was relatively young. Her younger half-sister, Elizabeth I, ascended to the throne. Since Elizabeth was a Protestant, England once again became a Protestant nation. Unlike Mary, Elizabeth did not torture or kill people for refusing to convert. Instead, those who attended Catholic Mass faced steep fines and political punishments. Catholics disliked Elizabeth. They made several attempts to assassinate her, but all of those failed. Now, unlike her sister, Elizabeth lived a long life, not dying until 1603, more than 50 years after she'd taken power. After all that time, most people assumed that the fighting was over. Now, after Elizabeth came King James of Scotland. His mother, Mary, had been a die-hard Catholic. Many unconverted holdouts assumed he was secretly a Catholic himself, and he would return England to the church when he took the throne. However, that didn't happen. James was Protestant and seemed happy to leave the religious conflicts of the past behind. The Catholics were infuriated, and some began to scheme about how they could replace him. Now, doing so meant not just replacing the king, but the Protestant Parliament too, who would resist the efforts to put a Catholic on the throne. One man in particular had a plan. His name was Robert Catesby, and he noticed that the king visited Parliament once a year. That was the time to strike. He hoped that by getting rid of both Parliament and the king, he could kickstart a religious rebellion. He quickly recruited others, including Guy Fawkes, a war veteran who had plenty of experience with explosives. Their plan, now called the Gunpowder Plot, was to smuggle gunpowder into the Parliament basement. When King James arrived on November the 5th, they would blow up the building. The group rented a house across the street from Parliament and dug a tunnel underground. Once they reached the Parliament basement, they began stockpiling barrels of gunpowder. However, conspiracies like this are hard to keep secret for long. King James soon learned about the plot and ordered new inspections of the building. Parliament guards found Guy Fawkes in the basement with firewood and long-burning matches. Further searches uncovered 36 barrels of explosive gunpowder, enough to demolish not just the building, but a significant portion of downtown London. Fawkes was promptly taken to the royal prison in the Tower of London. The laws back then offered little protection for those accused of a crime, so Fawkes was tortured until he revealed all of his co-conspirators. The entire group was rounded up, though some of them died resisting arrest, including the man who had started it all, Robert Catesby. Soon after, all of the conspirators were publicly executed for treason. Now, it wouldn't be a surprise if the story had just ended there. However, the plot was shocking enough that many churches and government buildings marked the anniversary, ringing bells and offering sermons. Before long, the date of the gunpowder treason became a strange sort of celebration. People began lighting bonfires to mark the occasion. Eventually, November the 5th became known as Bonfire Night or Guy Fawkes Day. During modern celebrations, people make small dolls and mannequins of powerful figures that they don't like, calling them guys and tossing them into the fire as a form of symbolic protest. While it might look like an angry mob, it's actually a way for people to let off steam in a particularly fun and energetic way. So this year, when you finish your Halloween candy, remember this classic English rhyme. Remember, remember, the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason that the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.